Hello, beautiful beings of light. I hope you're well. Amazie here. I just wanted to wish you all a happy 2022, and I wanted to make this video just to recap, and I think it's good for all of us to recap to see what it is we have been achieving this last year, although the current global situation has been quite challenging. But I think it's put us on the spot, it's putting humanity on the spot to see if we are capable of capable of surviving without those exterior necessities that we so are programmed to believe that we need in our lives, but I just want to say thank you to the universe and thank you to the world for having given me this space, because this year I closed my 7-year business, my business that I had, which was a cleaning company, and it was taking a lot of my time from me, and I'm a creative soul, and I've known this for many years, and it was always kind of the second thing, like my hobby. It was never the first priority that I had, because I was running my business, and therefore there was some sort of frustration and anger inside of me, and that was affecting my daughter, affecting people around me in every way, and affecting me and affecting my health, and I've let go of that because I knew that it wasn't doing me any good, and it was time for me to step into my creativity. And it's been pretty daunting because I'm in debt, so I didn't actually manage to sell it. What else have I done? I've moved to a different country. Managed to move to a different country with my daughter. I'm closer to my family now. I'm in Spain now. So that in itself is also big changes for my daughter as well, that whole transition. I've managed to, something else that I've managed to do, I've been working on all my 3D things that hold me back, 3D kind of tethers and stuff that really kind of sucks out my energy, because we're energetic beings. So that is the work that we are meant to be doing, and hopefully we will continue to be doing for this 2022 coming in, because the energies are so powerful, so strong right now, that unless you're doing this work, and unless you're saying goodbye to those people in your life that no longer serve you, unless you are cutting those energetic cords from maybe family members, or people, or even your relationship, if you feel that your relationship is no longer actually doing any good for you, then this is the time to cut that cord. What else have I done? I've actually managed to deal with my daughter's dad in a very good way. Like he lives in the US, and he wanted my daughter to go out there. My daughter is 11, she didn't want to go out there because she doesn't feel like she's been taken care of, and therefore it was quite a struggle, because it was getting legal again, it was getting messy, and I managed to just let them deal with it, which has been amazing, because she's got she can speak now, she's got a mouth of her own. So that is, I've also released that from my 3D tethers. That's no longer hanging there for me, that fear of what's going to happen, and that's been going on since she was 3, like constant battles between the dad and myself, her going to Miami, coming back, and then feeling absolutely not great. So those are also that's also another thing that I've been dealing with in 3D that I've solved. I also got rid of my house in the UK. I was renting out a property, and I managed to get rid of that property. I actually did a video not long ago, well in October, saying that I was going to go and do that, and I didn't actually tell the story about what actually happened. So I was meant to go out there to finish the tenancy, and I had my cleaning company also in the UK, and I had a cleaner who was struggling to find a place to live, and I basically said to her she could stay in my house and that would be fine, but it was an agreement between me and her. Anyway, there was some misunderstandings, miscommunications, and she was really angry with me. So for about 2 months she wasn't actually speaking to me. So I knew that when I got back it was going to be a bit all, so I was just hoping that everything was going to be in the same, you know, position as I left it, because I'd been away for about a year whilst the COVID hit, because my mum also was very, very sick and she had to downsize her property. So I also did that with my brother. And that's one of the reasons why I actually stayed here while all the lockdowns were happening in the UK. I just thought it'd be safer to just stay here. So when we got there, me and my daughter, you know, we were expecting the house to be pretty much the same, obviously maybe a little bit different, but anyway, we walked in and this girl had actually taken all of my property, all of my belongings, you know, clothes and items that I'd collected in London while I was there, lots of things that really meant quite a lot for me. They were valuable things that she'd taken from me. But I guess the lesson there was for me I had to process it, because obviously it was a long time living in England. I lived in England for 17 years. I was raised in Spain, but I went there to seek my destiny, if you will, as a vocalist. And so there was a lot of emotional, sentimental value items that she took with her. But the learning there was that, you know, actually, do I really need those things? Because I had been traveling quite light since I moved to Spain, because I only went on holiday, I only came on holiday to visit my parents, and then I ended up staying here to live. So a lot of my belongings were in England. I hadn't been back for a year and a half. So you can imagine there was a lot of stuff that, I was traveling light. I didn't have a lot of stuff on me, and it felt quite good to be so light, because sometimes we carry on so much baggage. We take belongings that, you know, they just, I just don't want to let go of that because maybe one day I'll use it, or I don't want to let go of that because that was a really special memory. But actually, when you travel light, it's just, everything is easier. So for me, the lesson was that, you know, maybe she did me a favor, and that actually those things were no longer serving me. So I feel that bad thing, if you will, we would call it a bad thing, like it's devastating. Once I'd processed it, I understood it as something that had happened to me, had happened for me, not to me, you know. And in that sense, you know, it made me feel much better with the situation, and that's fine. So yeah, I no longer have a property in the UK. I've kind of finished my chapter there. And what else has been happening? 3D tethers. Yeah, legal stuff here. To be able to be legal in Spain as well has been quite complicated, but I've managed to sort out all of that stuff. So I've been working really hard towards cutting cords and things that I no longer wanted in my life, that were pulling me, that were stopping me from being who I want to be, that were stopping me to be with my truth, you know. And you know, the learning for me with my business, the fact that I didn't, you know, make any money, I'm actually in debt with the banks in the UK and all of that. Well, the learning on that one was that, you know, abundance will follow when you follow your heart. So for me right now, I'm focusing on online dance classes. I'm focusing on, you know, restructuring an attic where I'm living. There's a lot of things that I'm doing to focus on my events. I've got a physical event in the physical happening in Mallorca, in the island. I'm very excited about that because I feel more aligned. I feel more in tune with my higher self. I feel more connected to my higher self, more connected to what really calls me, more connected to my passion, and therefore I feel more alive. I feel more excited about getting up in the morning and doing stuff. I've also been working on my relationship with my daughter because I'm a single mum, and I'm sure a lot of you single mums out there can probably resonate with me, that actually sometimes when it's a relationship of only two people, it becomes very kind of like a friendship relationship. It's difficult because there's only two of us. So I've been working really hard to put my boundaries down, and she's understanding that, and I'm doing her a favor because we're starting to respect each other even more. And that's really hard work, and you have to be a conscious parent. It needs to be a conscious thing every day, working really hard on that. And it's not easy to be a parent and try to, you know, make all these changes in our lives and stuff like that. Also, yeah, just basically practicing living with love has been quite strong for me this year. Just practicing being conscious and eating healthy. I've been working on that, and I'm going to be working on that even more this year, like having more veggie juices and getting more serious with jogging. And I've been doing yoga, but looking after my body even more. For my Christmas present, I have invested in a water system that ionized water, which kind of electrifies the body and it gives the body more energy. So yeah, I'm gonna see what kind of effects that water does for me. But basically, these are all the good things that I've been doing and I've been focusing in my life. And you know, we can be focusing on what's happening in the exterior. We could be I don't have a TV. I mean, I know there's the Omicron now because everybody around me is wearing masks, and it's just like, well, you know, I mean, if you want to feed into that story and you want to feed into that kind of timeline, that's totally fine. But you know, you're wasting a lot of energy and a lot of your attention is going to that, and therefore, you know, we're living in a low frequency, and that does not allow us to be with joy and be with love and really make those changes that we're meant to be doing right now. Because you know, the planet there's a massive shift in humanity, a massive shift in the whole of the universe and in the galaxy. Like, you know, we're growing in consciousness. So, you know, the only thing we can do is actually move into a higher consciousness and move into that 5D way of living, if you will, which is, you know, coming together in communities and realizing that that system that we so want, that we are no longer allowed to go into, although it's actually just dividing us right now, is no longer the system that we want to be in. You know, we have a choice, so we can just look at that system and go, actually, you know what, I'm not going to play that game. I'm going to turn around here and I'm going to create my world, which is what I'm doing, and which was a lot of us are doing, and we're doing really well. You know, you should be proud of everything that you've achieved. You should be proud of yourself. And if you're still hanging on to that job, or you're still hanging on to that doesn't resonate with you, maybe this is a time to let go of that and to say, you know what, it's okay, you know, because things are going to change, and they're going to change for the better. And we need to know this. And I just want to wish you all a happy 2022. And I'm just being thankful for everything that I've achieved. And I'm giving you a little bit of a lowdown of what I've achieved. Maybe, you know, like I know that I haven't been looking at the TV and just waiting for this thing to go away, because I know that everything that happens to us in this lifetime, whether it be a virus, whether it be whatever it is, it happens for us, not to us. So, you know, whenever there's a storm, there's always a bright light after that, you know, the sun shines. So lots of love, guys, and Happy New Year.